So apparently, if we want our eye colors to pop, we need to be doing this trend called Eyemaxxing, which is where we create the maximum potential for our eye color to truly pop and shine. And I'm usually not one that really loves to hop on makeup trends, but this is definitely a trend that I think so many women, especially over 30, should really jump on, especially if you have brown eyes like me and might think that your brown eyes are boring and don't really shine. Eyemaxing is going to really help all of the colors in your eye really shine. And how we do it is by doing a little bit of color theory, playing around with contrast levels, and creating a makeup look that is really going to work not only for your skin tone, but for your eye color too. And if you're new here, welcome to your weekly makeup brief with Michelle. In the beginning of every week, I'll be sharing weekly makeup tweaks, trends, and products that are actually worth trying out, especially if you're over 30, a note from my virtual makeup chair, and a gentle reminder to help you go confidently through your week. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're currently struggling with anything in your beauty routine, especially if you're over the age of 30, make sure that you drop it down below and I'll cover it in a future episode. So the one thing that I really love about eye maxing is it is a great way to wear pops of color and bolder makeup that you probably wouldn't usually wear because you're not sure if it's going to look good on you. The thing with eye maxing is that you actually use color theory or the color wheel to choose colors that are going to help your eyes really pop. Now, a lot of people, whenever they hear colorful makeup, they always think that it's going to make them look like a clown. And I totally get that because when I first started doing makeup, I definitely had my fair share of some terrible makeup looks. And I can't believe that my friends actually let me go out in public looking like that. But that's why you have me to help guide you and to help you to learn proper placement and techniques that are going to actually work for your eyes, especially as we start aging. There are two different ways that you can eye max. The first way is by choosing colors that are similar to your eye color but just a little bit darker to create contrast, to give more of a smoky vibe and really make your eyes shine. Second way, which is probably my favorite, is using color theory by choosing complementary colors to your eye color to make them pop. Now, when you have brown eyes, there's not really a complementary color for brown eyes, but the thing that you want to remember with brown eyes is brown is usually warm. And what is warm is usually going to be red, orange, and sometimes even yellow. So depending on how light or how dark your eyes are, is what range it's going to be. Now, for me, since I do have darker brown eyes, I do find that blue really makes my eyes shine. But I also love using shades like green and even lighter purples to really make my eyes shine. Just depending on how dark or how light your eyes are, is basically the colors that you're going to want to choose. And don't worry if you feel overwhelmed because I'm going to have a guide for you down below, as well as my color match form. So if you want me to help you choose specific shades for this, make sure that you let me know in the color match form response and I'd be glad to help. I'm going to show you the two different ways that I personally like to eye max specifically for brown eyes, but these exact techniques will work perfectly on any other eye color using my guide down below. So I've actually gone ahead and shared two different ways I like to eye max on brown eyes. I did a purple look and a blue look that is currently on my Instagram. So definitely make sure that you check those out. Today I'm going to show you how to use similar colors to your eye color as well as greens for your brown eyes. The biggest thing that you want to keep in mind is you want to make sure that whenever you're using colors similar to your eye, that you're using something that's dark. It's going to help your eye color kind of contrast, and that's what really makes it pop. Now, I know a lot of people can get very scared of darker colors. That's why I prefer to use cream eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in to this darker brown that has just a little tiny bit of warmth that is going to help to bring out the warmth in my eyes. And we're going to apply that on the lid, bring that out, and just kind of blend it. And we want this to be a little bit smudgy. We don't want this to be too perfect because it's going to give a more natural look. Now, if you have a more hooded eye, you're going to want to make sure that you go up and above the crease so that way you can really see the eyeshadow, and you want to make sure that it stays darkest at the lash line. You can use a little angled brush to really get in that lower lash line and smudge it out with your fingers so that we have a little bit more control. Now for eyeliner, I'm actually going to go in with a black because it's going to really help the brown pop, not only in our eye color, but in our eyeshadow as well. So I'm grabbing a cream eyeliner and I'm just going to go ahead and run this across my lower lash line, then use my fingers to smudge that out. The key with the eyeshadow matching your eye color is making sure that you make it super smudgy, and that's going to help to create that soft sultry effect that's going to really make your eyes pop. Since I do have a larger eye, I am going to put some on my upper lash line too, making sure to hold my angled brush down And we're going to bring this all the way across. Now you also want to make sure that you bring this up into the waterline underneath the eyes. I absolutely hate tight lining, but it makes such a difference. So I'm looking in my mirror so that I make sure that I have control. And then again, going in with my finger to help smudge everything out. And I'm just going to elongate the wing just a little bit, not too much. And I'm just going to make sure to clean up my under eyes to make sure that we don't look tired and that we're keeping the darkness just at the actual eye. And already you can see how much more it's popping and how it's really starting to bring the warmth out in my eyes. Then we're going to go in with a very dark mascara. I like going in with a black, doing my 3-step mascara technique, and I prefer to use a more volumizing formula because this is going to really make the eyes pop. And look at the difference between no eyeshadow versus our Eyemaxxing technique. You can really start to see the brown in my eyes pop, how it's bringing out a lot of that warmth because we did use those cooler colors too. And that cooler black is going to help to bring out more of that warmth that's in your natural brown eyes. It's all about how you place your makeup. Now we're going to do a similar vibe with the green, where we're really using the eyeliner to do the Eyemaxxing for us. But we want to make sure that we start off first with a good base. So I'm going to use a golden brown as my crease eyeshadow just to help add a little bit of warmth to the look and help softly define the eyes, bringing that across the lower lash line as a nice little base. And again, similar to how the warmth on this eye just helps to bring out some of the warmth in the eyes, similar to how we are doing with this base. Then I'm going to go in with this olive green and I'm going to use that on the eyelid. Again, making sure that you bring it up if you have a more hooded eye. I'm bringing a little bit into my inner corner just to make that pop. And if you're using other colors like blues or purples, I like to just keep the eyes really nice and neutral. A nice soft vanilla shimmer will be plenty. And already it's starting to bring out some of our eye, but it's not necessarily Eyemaxxing the way that this side is. That's where we're going to go in with a dark green eyeliner. I personally like to use a more metallic finish. These Maybelline tattoo eyeliners are absolutely stunning and come in so many different colors to help make sure that you Eyemax regardless of what eye color you may have. I'm going to start by lining my waterline first. Then I'm going to tightline. I like to close my eyes to go ahead and get the top and the bottom at the same time. Bring that across my lower lash line and keeping this a little bit messy on that lower lash line at first. The secret is making sure that you have a dark enough green because similar to the black, we want to make sure that it's dark enough so that it creates a good contrast. If we're going too light, it's not going to create that contrast that you need, especially when you have darker eyes. So you want to make sure that you have enough depth. And already you can start seeing how that's bringing some life to my eyes. But really, the biggest tip is making sure that you get that upper lash line too. This is basically creating a border around your eyes so that it really makes your eye color shine. Going to blend that with my fingers, wing it out just a little bit to elongate the eyes. And it doesn't have to be too perfect. That's kind of what I love about this Eyemaxxing technique, is that it can be more on the smudgier side and look a little bit more lived in. So I feel like it makes it a lot more beginner friendly. And look at how our eyes are starting to shine so much more now with the green. Then I'm going to go in with a dark green mascara. So you don't want to go, again, too bright. You want this to almost be a black green that has a little bit of depth, but a little pop of color just to make the eyes pop. Or you could also go in with a black mascara if you want. I just already had this Maybelline Sky High that comes in so many different colors to really make any eye color pop without looking too intense. And what this green is going to do is it's going to bring the natural red tones out of our eyes because green is the complementary color of red. And since brown eyes have red, yellow, and orange in them, whatever color you choose as your Eyemaxxing base, if you will, it's going to help to bring out the opposite color in your eyes. So there we have the green, which I cannot stop looking at. And honestly, this is such a great way to wear a little pop of color without being too much. So let me know down below in the comments, are you team Eyemaxxing with your eye color or Eyemaxxing with complementary colors? And make sure that you check out the description box down below because I'll have all the shades that I used today linked down below. One thing that a lot of people don't realize about me is that I am a professional makeup artist, but more recently I have had to step back from taking in-person clients mostly larger groups and weddings. I still take clients here and there and do a lot of online makeup lessons, which I actually offer for free with my virtual color matches to this custom palette that will be linked down below. And in my color match form, I like to get as thorough as possible. So I always ask if there's anything else that I need to know about your makeup routine or your goals that you have, so that I keep it in mind whenever I'm building a routine for you. And sometimes even just share with you certain tips or videos that I may have already. So I recently had a client fill out a color match form. And one thing that she mentioned was how she feels like her makeup doesn't apply evenly on top of sunscreen and that it doesn't last. And one thing that I will say that a lot of people don't realize when it comes to sunscreen, you have to be very careful with the formula that you're using. Now, this specific client did mention to me that she can only use mineral sunscreen, so it is a little bit more trickier because the reason why we need to reapply sunscreen is because it kind of fades down. So the same thing happens with your makeup. Whenever you're applying sunscreen underneath your makeup, it tends to wear off or fade down, which is why it fades your makeup as well. And mineral sunscreens a lot of times can be very drying. I personally am not a huge fan of mineral sunscreens. I know a lot of people who are usually acne prone tend to reach for more mineral sunscreens, but I have found a list of chemical sunscreens that have worked beautifully for my acne prone skin that haven't caused any irritations and still keep my skin nice and hydrated. And you can even possibly try a chemical mineral sunscreen mix and see how that wears underneath your makeup. But the thing with chemical sunscreens is usually they are in a hydrating base. So you don't normally need to use a moisturizer and a sunscreen whenever you're using a chemical sunscreen. Now, of course, this is from my own personal experience, especially as a professional makeup artist. But the one thing that I will tell you to keep in mind is making sure that if you're doing your makeup for some special event where you want your makeup to wear a long time, or even if you're doing your makeup for a night, you don't need to wear sunscreen. I know that it's been drilled in our head that we need to wear sunscreen every single waking moment of our lives, but makeup does offer a very small amount of sun protection. So if you're just wearing it for a couple of hours, maybe it's a wedding, maybe it's a nighttime gala, you don't necessarily need to wear sunscreen underneath your makeup. And making sure that when you do wear sunscreen, especially mineral sunscreen, that you're properly prepping your skin, adding tons of moisture that's going to work well with your sunscreen is going to be key. Now, the biggest thing that I could tell you if this is something that you're dealing with is making sure that you experiment a little bit. That's one of the things that I personally love to do. And I share a lot of that journey on my Instagram. But if you ever want me to share more about that here, just let me know down below in the comments. And I'd be glad to do a whole entire episode on that. Experimentation is key. I have learned what ingredients really work for me. I have learned what works best for my skin. I have learned what my skin is more sensitive to, understanding the ingredients in my skincare so that I choose skincare products that are going to actually work for me and not against me. So I think when you understand that and you choose products that work really well with your makeup, that work really well for your skin type, you'll have a better chance of your makeup actually wearing. Now, another thing that I would suggest too is trying products like SPF setting powders or SPF setting sprays on top of your makeup, and maybe not wearing sunscreen underneath makeup, but wearing it on top. And that may do a better job at giving you that sun protection that you need and helping your makeup to wear all day long. So let me know what your thoughts are on this. I know this can be super controversial at times, but the thing that you want to remember is that everyone's skin type is so different. So what works for me may not work for you. And if you are someone who is blessed and have found a good mineral sunscreen that wears well underneath your makeup, please share your mineral sunscreen with us, as well as what your skin prep routine looks like whenever you wear that mineral sunscreen, because we need to know. Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought for the week. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt like you needed makeup to be beautiful, I want to remind you of something. Makeup was never meant to hide who you actually are. It's meant to enhance the beauty that is already there. And I know that as we get older, it can be hard for us to see the beauty that is there because we feel like we don't even recognize ourselves when we look in the mirror. But here's the thing. Every single stage of life, our beauty isn't fading, it's just changing. And makeup was meant to be fun, help you to feel polished, and give you that little boost of confidence that you sometimes need, maybe if you didn't get enough sleep that night. But it was never designed to determine your worth. One of my favorite reminders is Psalm 139:14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So before you pick up your makeup brush this week, remember that you were already made wonderfully by God. And makeup does not make you more valuable. It simply just gives you another way to express the beauty that He created in you. So as you're getting ready this week, I hope you remember this. Don't use makeup to become someone else. Use it to celebrate the woman that you already are. Thank you so much for joining me on today's beauty brief. And make sure that you check out the description box down below to learn the different ways that we can stay connected. And I pray that this week you feel like your best self yet. Stay blessed, and I'll see you next time.